Da, 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 da. What is up, everyone? Welcome back to my channel. We're following up with part 3 in my series, Now It's Time for a Breakdown, discussing the character arc of Taka in the movie Mufasa. In part 2, I mentioned that Taka's selfishness was present very heavily in the song We Go Together. In that particular song, everyone was focused more so on finishing the journey together, finding all the things that they were all searching for individually, but doing it as a team, doing it in harmony with one another. Whereas Taka was focused on how he could get Sarabi alone and essentially court her. He was very selfish in that way. Yes, technically harmless to have a crush, but again, I think it shows the mindset that he is really not about working with everybody else. He is always having his own motives that are driving him to do what he does and make the decisions that he ends up making. We see that continued in the final song in Brother Betrayed, which is the full circle moment for Taka becoming the villain. As we know, he becomes Scar in OG Lion King. Brother Betrayed starts off because Taka sees Mufasa and Sarabi talking together alone. And we know that Taka already has this kind of deep-seated jealousy of Mufasa because of the treatment that Mufasa got from Taka's mother. And of course, we know the only reason that Mufasa and Taka's mother were close was because Mufasa was forced to stay with the lionesses. It's not because he chose to, but that is what it was. And Taka was jealous of that. Taka was always jealous of the relationship that Mufasa had with his mother. And so when he saw Mufasa talking to his crush, Sarabi, that jealousy bubbled up once and for all. Because as we see throughout the movie up until this point, there are moments where, Taka is clearly jealous of something that Mufasa is doing or the way that he is being received by others. So this moment was a culmination of that. What I think is so interesting is the fact that Taka invokes the voice of his brother Mufasa. The first thing that he does is invoke Mufasa's melody from I Always Wanted a Brother when Mufasa is singing alone by himself about how he wants to find his parents. He's not ever gonna forget them. Da, 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 da. And so as you're seeing that Taka is invoking the voice of his brother from that song where he thought that they were gonna be together forever, we kind of can use that as a point of severance from that relationship. The way that Taka was feeling about his brother has now changed forever for good, because he thought his brother was somebody else, but now that he sees his brother coming between him and his crush, he can't stand for that and he simply won't abide it. And so we see that. We see him invoking his brother Mufasa's voice in this song and then switching to having his own sound, his own villainous kind of immersion into just pure selfishness, pure hatred, pure I don't care. It's not going my way. I can't live like this. Something needs to change. This is not fair. Why is it always me getting the short end of the stick, sort of a thing. So we really get that full circle moment of Taka's character arc. And if you're familiar with OG Lion King, you know that who Taka ends up being from this point is exactly who Scar is in the future. So I think that Lin-Manuel Miranda did a really fantastic job of understanding who these characters are individually and then writing their songs, writing them in such a way that it helps to carry their own character arcs from this origin point to the well-established characters that we know them to be several years later. And I just really, really enjoyed that. I love the soundtrack again. I think that this movie is great. I'm a sucker for an origin story, so sue me. I'm a huge fan, and I just was so impressed by kind of the layers of this particular music and the meaning, and being able to kind of take each character individually and seeing exactly how they're gonna end up being in the future. So what do you think? I'm curious to know if you have any other thoughts about my theory and kind of any opinions you might have about how these characters have been written and how their character arcs have been established from this particular film. If you want to see more videos and content like this, please like and subscribe. I am a huge nerd, so let me know if you have any other movies or musicals that you want me to break down, and I will happily do so. Until next time, see you around. Bye.